Ba. Pick up my voice. There you go. Oof. Welcome, Killerfish. Good job for being first. It is so hot in here. You had 0. Amazing. Anyways, I woke up in a sweat. Not because anything bad has happened, but the entire house is so hot. The AC is not running at all. I smelled awful waking up because of how much I sweat. But welcome in, welcome in. I'm a little bit tired, to be honest. It's the first time I slept for like... It's melting right now. The AC is on. I explained this before. It doesn't work. It never works. It just... It never works. It doesn't reach my room, and apparently the AC is a little bit under the weather, I guess, as the entire house is heated right now. Yeah, I know. I know, it's terrible. But I won't get that down on me. You're gonna drink cement? Okay. Sure, whatever. I'm far too disgusting right now to care. Oh, good. And I'm sure it will get so much better now that I am... You have 500 smells now, great. Yippee. Alright. So how do we work with this? You could not find that user in the database. Haha. Let's see what's trending. For programming, GitHub.com. Okay, I have to enable two-factor authentication. Why? I have to use tokens to push to GitHub. And now it's just it don't really? Okay, great. Awesome. Amazing. Just gonna press the X button right there. I don't care for that right now. What I do care about is working on our skill of getting inspiration. Like I said yesterday, that kind of skill has basically fallen by the wayside. So, in order to... Who the heck are you? I just pressed the Explore tab, thinking I'm gonna get a lot of repositories. An OC? Oh, sick! How many dudes demo? Nice. I'll check it out. I'll check it out later. Alright. So I want to learn this key skill on how to get inspiration, because that's the only thing I don't know how to do, per se. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead, scroll through this. Maybe there's something cool. Public repository contribute. What's this? Huh? Okay, that's cool. What the heck is Codename? I've never heard of this before. What, is this the, Friday Night Funkin' engine? Whoa. Oh, wow. Web mobile sport. This is interesting. This looks like to be a separate entity from the regular, shall I say, Friday Night Funkin' engine? I've never seen this before. What did I miss? Do you have a website? Oh, of course. I guess these are all... Let's take a look at your featured. Monday noon moving. Very funny. What? Core fields. The canned incomplete build. Yeah, we just... just gave up, huh? Yeah, that makes sense. This thing... That looks pretty impressive thumbnail. Private. Darn. I actually wanted to see that. Oh, that's super unfortunate. Because this looks cool. Pootis Team Fortress 2. Ah, man, this looks really cool. What made them stop? It looks like it's still under development. But major releases has basically stopped since then. And commits are largely slowed. Speaking of Friday Night Funkin', let's just take a look at the code itself over here. Oh. New version. Let's see. Fixed everything. Okay. Oh, you can unlock your frame rate now? That's cool. Looks like all of this is usually just... Oh, what's polymod? Oh, polymod. That's that hexaflexel extension. Widescreen supports. Flip Y? Okay. You flip it on the Y, whatever. Sure. Added a function to allow modders to create functions within a variable number of arguments. Okay, cool. A lot of good stuff. Is there actually... No. Forgot about that. So, for this specifically, does this actually have any new content within it? Or is it just updates? It might just be updates as of right now. It's still very slow. Like, release list. Oh, that one's in pre. Well, it's not marked as latest. But that's an Android hotfix, apparently. This is the last one I had. Hitting a can no longer creates a script error. Oh, it no longer has lag spikes? That's cool. This was released in March. It was monthly updates. But now it's not monthly updates anymore? Like, I quite like how many, updates are pushed. There was nothing for May, nothing for June. Well, you still have 1 day for July. I think the main problem that I have with this project is that it's moving excessively slow. Oh. The develop branch is like way ahead. So is the camera editor, huh? Stale, I don't think stale matters. It's always some weird stuff in stale. So what are they focusing on right now, then? Packets. OpenFL? This one is essentially putting Flash-esque animates into Hexaflixel. Assets. Yeah, this one's a June one. I don't expect anything to change. Add files via upload. Did nothing get uploaded? This doesn't look like anything got uploaded. Very weird. You know what? Yeah. That's probably the website. Just nothing? Really? Just a huge camera editor update. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. You could preview the sprites of the stage. Honestly, that's a pretty cool update. Layers. All right. Ooh, that's pretty nice. The only thing is that you have all these tools now. So, can we develop a game around these tools, please? This is really impressive. I would just like these tools to now be utilized to make the theme. I get all of this. What bugs are you fixing? Just some regular programming bugs. Just trying my best to find inspiration of things. The fuck is this? Next major update. See, this is pretty cool. All things considered, I'm just a little bit disappointed still at the lack of speed at which things are going within this project itself. Just gonna click in the develop branch. Ugh. That is, auto red. Nah, that's a pretty smart way to clean it up. Let's see. New input system changes the offset menu. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, that looks so clean now. Notes, data time, minus the local conductor. Then afterwards the inputs, latency. And I guess you don't need all of this because everything else is handled somewhere else. Fix compile on mobile. I guess you moved it, that's fine. Sometimes it do be like that with bugs, you just move a thing and it works now. Very nice. Alright, this is cool. I want to be able to rival these chuckleheads. I'm still a little bit disappointed at how slow everything's going. Let's go ahead. Let's rival these chuckleheads. I think I could do better. Let's go ahead and fix some bugs. So first bug we are going to fix is runtime error of tags. Essentially, previously when I was testing everything, the tags itself and specifically the body of the text itself, it bugged out to where the hashtags and as well the thingamajiggies, what was it? The hashtags and the text itself would go together. And that's not what I wanted. So now, with all that being said, we could just take this, the blue sky within the blue sky thing itself. There is no dedicated tag system. So when I previously used the tag system, I was just copying and pasting shit in order to make it work. But you know, we could just remove it. Like, we have the tags. We don't need in Mastodon a dedicated area to set the tags. We could just adjust the theme accordingly. Like, new words equals words plus tags. Ta-da! Now I put this in here. I'm going to see what happens if I just put it in a wait command. Nah, actually, it's not worried about that. And then afterwards, we could just remove set tags. For blue sky itself, we could do the same thing. Go overhead to the main. New words equals this. Remove set tags. Implement new words. Head on over here and remove the tags. Beautiful. So essentially I just lowered the code base while I'm pretty sure not doing much. And in order to test it, Python 3. I want to test blue sky first, and only blue sky, because there's a weird bug with it that needs to be fixed. There might be boobs. I'll just move this over here. So, successful. Oh god, it's like a runtime error. Oh, that's going to be terrible. I hope I'm able to find it. If it's a runtime error, then... Oh no. So, first of all, post works. Okay, let's just post this to Mastodon to see if the posting from Mastodon to Blue Sky, or Blue Sky to Tumblr, is what's causing the bug in the first place. Yeah, there may be boobs, so we just move this over. It is so fast! Slow down there, buckaroo. There's your bug. So it seems to be within Blue Sky itself. First of all, oh crap! I didn't want to open that up. Go away. Shouldn't it wait for this? Within this. Invisibility of element. The divider itself. So why is that not working? Can't find the element? Is that something it cannot find? Maybe instead of this one, we could just wait for the regular button to be invisible. Instead. So now, get status. Issue fix number 1. So issue number 1. What was that one? Tags and posts no longer merge. Cool. What else is there? Hello, Official Zard. What are you making? I am making a multi-poster. Wiley's fixing up some bugs. So the first bugs I'm going to fix is with this multi-poster itself. Then afterwards I'm going to go to Twitch theme and fix the stupid bug where, you know, it disconnects after 10 seconds and I don't even know about it. Then afterwards, I think we'll just learn how to texture later. I wonder if I just... Okay, cool. Can I reference a... Yeah, maybe I could reference a commit. Copy commit. Oh wow, it automatically recognizes it. Oh, that's cool. It automatically recognizes it. Fire. Alright, that's one down. Let's go see why the other one's happening. Oh, did I clear everything? Well, I thought I tried to fix it before, so let's go launch it again. Ooh. Testing tool 1. Testing tool. Put that over there. Postal sent and close. Did it work? I have no idea until it actually shows that it broke. I literally don't know until it shows that it broke, which is really unfortunate. Alright, there we go. Should also be fixed. Maybe. I did not want to upload a file. Alright. Alright. Let's go ahead and go to the next repository. This one would be yeah. Oh, and while we're at it, we'll fix something I hated about this project as well. Where's main? Huh. What happened? What happened? Where are my files? My files are gone. But on this, it views them. Hold on. Maybe I need to pull it. Ah, there's the issue. There you go, there you go. I'm an idiot. No, like though. What? So is there something? Where did I have the sound play before? Specifically Notif. Notif is the thing that I need. Look at just Notif. Not found. I'm in the wrong area then. There we go. I'll just make it play during certain things. Message equals first. There we go. Plays during the channel points. Plays during this. What's the sound again? Yep. Yep. Okay, cool. So now we need to go to chatting. No, that's going to be in the main viewer, I think is where everything refreshes. Essentially, we need to grab the message and it's going to get the notification. I need to specifically look for a heartbeat. If message equals notification, all of the notifications. Then afterwards we take this. Okay, cool. I want to print the message. Just temporarily. I want to see where the heartbeat is. Nope, that's all we need. If message metadata. Oops, what the heck happened? Metadata. Message type. Session keep alive. It will add a timer. Oh, okay. Bar keep alive timer. Zero. We'll have this always tick up. But then if it's greater than or equal to 10, prints. Oh wait, we should just set the keep alive timer to 0 right here, because that's how we know the heartbeat. And then with that, take this. Now let's test that out. Let's test out the heartbeat, baby. Fascinating. Oh, okay, so it might have made all the connections first. In this case, when everything is loading, And we'll set keep alive timer equal to 0 again. That might have been the issue. And then sets this. We don't necessarily need to see a keep alive. All we need to see is a message itself. Now we wait. Now we wait some more. It errored? So it looks like as soon as it reaches 10 seconds, it has to send a keep alive. Switch event sub keep alive. Yep. A reconnect message, a revocation message. Oh, interesting. It's a reconnect message. Specifies a new area, okay. Huh, interesting. Let's take a look at the keep alive message. The server sends a message that Twitch doesn't deliver an event location. Within the keep alive the timeout seconds window specified in a welcome message. Oh, okay, so as soon as it sends that, that's why it's giving me an error. Well, that and delta time works a little bit funnily. Should assume the connection is lost and reconnect to the server and then resubscribe to the events. Each notification or keep alive message. Okay. Gotcha. Most things handle ping pong. That's fine. That just stops the thing from disconnecting. Alright. Now we take this. The keep alive timer. Set to 0. If we say it's longer than 20. Let's see. Where is this specifically? A subscription to the thing. Where are my headers? I want to know where specifically my theme is. Here it is. On WhatsApp client received. So then afterwards, makes all the connections. Sure. Func connect to server. Grab these. This is just a reduced code base. I don't want to have to do this again. Woo! I love scrolling. I love the scroll. I scrolled too far. That's how you know I like to scroll. Can I unindent this? Perfect. Message. Is your message? Oh, it needs to be a dictionary, right? Hold on, let me take a look. Variants, okay. There you go. What's next? So what we should do is that if the keep alive timer is double the amount, then that means it's probably dead. Print. Socket is dead. Starting. WebSocket clients dot. Is there a disconnect? Yes. No. That's not the disconnect I wanted. Disconnect from host. It's a cat meowing at me. What do you want? What's up, cat? This bitch meows. But then afterwards, send this. Oh, do we need to separate it? Do we need to separate it? I don't think we need to separate this function. No, we just need to add a thing. Well, it doesn't hurt having this. It really doesn't hurt. Alright. It probably won't work. I have to wait for it to do a thing again. What? You don't want cat? Come here. The cat is afraid of my jacket. Well, that's good. Looking at that, it didn't redo anything. So I think that's a job well executed. Let's go ahead and commit that to the thing now. Okay. I don't know about you. We're getting 7 hours of sleep in blazing hot heat, waking up in a warm sweat, not even a cold sweat. Like you just like had a lot of sweat, stress, in a warm sweat, feeling disgusting, and then afterwards having to get up and realize you have to do a thing in like 15 minutes. It's a little bit tiring. Which is why as soon as I got up in like and realized I had to stream in like 20 minutes, I'm like, I'm just gonna stream in like 1 hour. I should have reminded myself to stream in 1 hour. That's on me. It? You should know what it is. What happens? Oh, I just redid a lot of stuff, right? Commit. Keep alive and messages sound. Perfect. Yay! Alright, that's good. Get up here then, cat. Come here. Come on. Get up here, stupid. You could jump, right? I'm not gonna do all that work for you. You either get your ass up here or you don't. Come here, kitty. Fine. I'll do this. Stupid ass cat. Let's remove this, all the audios. Group. Did I misspell this? Oh well. It's in the thing itself, I don't care. So bugs are fixed. Let's learn how to texture. How to properly texture your models. Blender 3D tutorial. Yeah. Let's check out this tutorial. I don't want to.
Hey everyone, and welcome. In this lesson, we are going
Wow.
to look at how we can texture an object inside of Blender.
Australian. You're too quiet, Australian.
Okay, so let's just say you've created a 3D model and you want to apply a texture to it.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we do that?
I don't know.
Let's just say already you have your texture and you want to apply it. Now, include.
I have a feeling I already know how to do this. I have a feeling I already know how to do this. Yeah, there's a difference between me wanting to texture and actually applying a texture, because I am a skilled texture applier. And, not whatever the heck that is. Texture painting, quick start.
This is an update of my texture painting quick start guide for 2.93, which is currently the same for lots of great tips. It's nice and simple, and really nice and basic when you're texture painting objects. This technique will work for any model, but be aware if you've got a really high poly model, it may struggle. If you want to follow along, you can download the hammer. So we go to the UV editing workspace just here, if you weren't already. I've got all my objects selected, island margin, and I'll explain more about that in a second. I'll put it up to 0.05, where it's split up the mesh.
I don't need to know what that does. I already do. I just need to know how to paint properly.
In case you want to reduce the texture size to put it into a game, for example, right here, and base color. I call this hammer color 2 because I've done this before. And width, I'm going to use 2. If I want to take this metal on this, transparency, we won't have any. Just here, and choose hammer color 2, or whatever I've labeled it, and I can zoom out, and it's all grey at the moment. So in order to start painting, make sure you've got your brush selected up here, you've got your color down here, you've got the strength here, and the brush size here. You can also press F to resize your brush.
Oh!
And Shift F to change the strength.
Ooh, even better.
Brush a bit smaller, and I should be able to paint and test that out on my model. So you can paint away to your heart's content. Again, check out my playlist for more detailed hints, like
Okay. How do I actually make good textures, though?
In this video, you'll learn the.
Holy crap, 2 hours! Oof. Right. Strap in.
The basics of texturing in Blender. The very same techniques that are used in AAA games and Hollywood movies.
What? How? Well, it's now too fast. I was about to just put it at 2 times speed, but now it's too fast.
In this video, you'll learn the basics of texturing in Blender. The very same techniques that are
Oh my god, how did you do that?
used in AAA games, and a set of skills that can be used for virtually any 3D surface. And best of all, Blender 4.2 Fire. If you have already seen my donut tutorial,
I don't care about your donut tutorial. Did you update it again? Yeah, I guess if it prints money. Look, it's the donut tutorial. That's great. That's the quick start guide, I guess. Let's open up our Blender. I want to be able to follow along. Alright, we got a cube. Let's remove the camera, remove the light. We don't need those two. As well as the collection. Spin.
which material, and you've got your look dev mode, and then you can, there's a 2 seating tab at the top there, which is just the exact same values, but it's in a node layout here.
Good. Shaders. We will now learn more about shaders and what everything does. Hello, contradictory spy. I have no idea what your message is supposed to mean. Sunyon? Like an onion for your son? I'm just trying to learn how to texture. Like, we already fixed 3 bugs before. So, with all those bugs being fixed, then afterwards have to implement new features. But I don't want to implement new features. I want to learn how to texture. I want to create badass models. So, that's what we're doing right now. This is Blender Guru. He's fire. I think he has problematic views, but he's good with it.
Now, I've never been a big fan of this on the left-hand side, so I'm going to right-click.
You know... This? Well, I guess it doesn't... That makes sense. It doesn't have any of the textures. If you want to do texture paint, it's literally just this. Okay. Yeah, we could just remove it. How do you... Just a remove button. Oh, I accidentally split it. Oh, no, that ain't good. Oh, I don't know how to use Blender.
Click, join area, and then just collapse.
Join area, that's not intuitive. Alright. Join area? Join area. Where is the join area? I don't want to split. I want to join. How did I do that? How did I do that? How? Hold on.
Big fan of this on the left-hand side, so I'm going to right-click.
You right-click the middle area? No way. That's terrible. Oh my God. So, join left. There you go. Does this matter? I don't think the specific shader matters as much. And the only reason why that the shader doesn't... Not the shader, the texture. What am I talking about? The texture doesn't matter as much. Because you're...
I need a medic bag.
I am trying to texture Good Samaritan. What are you doing plain sounds?
Click, join area, and then just collapse it. Okay. Also, I actually don't want to do it on a cube. I don't want the light, don't want this. I'm going to select everything with A, delete it, and I'm going to replace it with a plane. And then I'm going to rotate
I'm going to
this
use the cube.
R, X, and 90.
I don't think this matters. Can you explain it?
Of your object happens in here. Everything has to be plugged in through here. Okay, so as I just said
I understand
before,
that much.
You can adjust these values here. You can make it look like a mirror. You can make it look like chalk, right? By adjusting the roughness slider there, you can make it look like
Chalk? Oh, I guess that makes sense. I think we could still see that in real time. Oh. Cube is not that reflective. I see why he uses a plane. Let's see. I don't really see the difference. Let's make it darker. Maybe I'll see the difference. Oh yeah, now I see the difference. I'm a rougher. Looks like sandpaper. And then after it's a mirror. Default is 0.5. Has a little bit of reflection to it. Metallicness. Honestly, I don't know what metallic does within the shader itself. I wonder if he explains it or just says something else.
metal or non-metal, etc. I'm sure you're already familiar with this, right? So what we're doing, just turn all this junk off,
No, he never just elaborates. Cool.
is we're defining a so from the value is doing the show. You don't have to follow this. I'm just going to show you as an example. I'm going to add in an image texture. And rather than open something on my computer, I'm going to create color new. It's just the image is that I'm going a roughness of 0.2, if I take my output of my image and I override my roughness, so it's now going to be using my texture instead of this value, can you guess what will happen?
I don't. The same thing?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. As I flip between them, there is no change because this is a 0.2 value and this roughness is a flat 0.2 value. It's just doing it on a pixel level per pixel.
Ooh. So what do you... Hang on. I think I have a feeling I know what it's saying. Oh, Oops. Fuck. Oh, let's just undo all that. There we go. I think I know what it's saying. I exactly know what it's saying. Oh, crap. I opened up another application. Please destroy. Okay, I know exactly what it's saying. Image, search, image texture. New. Gonna make it completely black. Gonna open up this in here. And say for the sake of argument, where is my coloring tool? Say for the sake of argument. Grab this. Yeah, I don't care about that. I just care about the shading right now because it's supposed to be the base color. It's supposed to be the base color. With the base color itself, we just grab this, apply it to metallic. It uses the UVs. I did not know it uses the UVs itself. But, look at this. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. I never knew that. Wants me to save this. Hang on, I'll save it for you. I have a plugin that forces me to save. It's a very useful plugin, shall I say. Alright, Blender Guru, what's next?
Pixel level. You could do a bunch of fancy stuff in here, right? And what this is doing, looking at our texture over here, you can see it's adding in extra values. So the white is like a value of 1 for our roughness. So it becomes like chalk on that point, a value error on those values, right? So at a per pixel level, it is changing 1 value. You could take this and, plug it into the base color, right? So it now becomes the actual color.
Am I just going to learn that everything is a texture? Is that what I'm going to learn? I'm going to soon discover that everything is a regular ass texture. I hope that's where it's going, because then it'll make it so much easier. Because I've been messing around with textures for so long. You just telling me everything's a texture, that's just easy.
Also add in a bump node like this, take the color, use it as height, which is going to be fed into the shader normal. It's just like a...
Oh, really? Search, bump. Take this, add it to the height. I am not seeing it. I am not seeing it at all. What did I do wrong? It's a bump node. Plug it into the color. Color to height. Normal to normal. I think it might be neat. It needs to be a little bit more extreme, maybe? Let's take this. Blacken out certain areas on it. Oh, whoa, there we go. There's your distance. I just needed... Whoa. Let's remove that. Oh, oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. That looks so cool. Oh, it's so cool. Texture paints. Can I have... Is there a way to specifically specify what I want to... Oh, that is so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my god, you could even have it pixelate itself. There's brushes for pixelation. Your blur. Ah, it's so good. I did not mean to fill. That's so good. Oh my god, so good. Look at that. Look at how it messes with the corners. Here, let's do a... Look at that. Look at how it messes with the corner. It looks... Oh. Can I increase the filter? Oh, look at that. It looks a little bit off because I think the values are a little bit... Shall we say not good? But that looks cool. Look at how cool that looks. Oh, that looks fire. That looks fierce. Is there something else? Paint soft? It's not really a soft paint now, is it? It's kind of a hard paint here. Okay, we just need to tone down the strength. It looks like a Grand Canyon. Look at that. Oh, look at that. I could create fucking mountains with just a cube. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I never knew that. I never knew any of this. That's so dope.
It's like fake bump. We'll get to it later. Right? And I could give this something like this, disconnect this, right? So now I'm just...
What did you do? Wait, how did you do that? How did you do that? Huh? I saw you disconnect multiple nodes at the same time.
Something like this, disconnect, fake bump. We'll get to it later. Right? And I could give this something like this, disconnect.
Control, right click. Slice. Ha 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 ha! Oh, that's cool. Get out of here! Destroy all connections! So fucking cool. We take this, clean up version, new state.
Like this in right? Speak about what you're use material. All right, now let's talk about the types of textures. Textures, right? These guys.
I already know these.
Some of this is only used for lamps. I don't know why, but they're all here, even though they couldn't be used for a mesh. But all shift and left click on any node, by the way. That will let you preview it on your mesh. We can see what one simple of it. Use it like a...
Yeah, I know the most common is noise.
Like on an interior. Yeah, anyways, adding patterns and with texture lettuce. Amazing, realistic looking forms and things. I've actually seen a lot of beginners get led astray because they look on ArtStation or they look on forums and things, and they see people do amazing, realistic looking materials with like node layouts with hundreds of nodes, and they're creating through math and combining this one with this one with this one with this one, something that looks like a real complex material. But in practice, that is almost never done in production. That's controversial.
It's almost never done in production. I just wanted to listen to his point. I wanted to see where it was going. And it went very fun. It was the funny twist of just like, we don't use complex shaders in this household. We use buttfuck simple shaders. That's funny. Alright. Continue learning.
So, image textures. Let's 2 meters, right? And then
I think I already know this.
I'm holding what sort of brick do I want, right? And then I'm about to do. So let's quickly do this. I'm gonna select my entire mesh. You don't understand UV unwrapping? We're like, basically this aligns with this, so we just check direction, right? Which you can tell because there's a little line there. That's the edge. Scale that up, just to cover the bases. All right. So that doesn't look like brick. That barely looks like brick. A number of problems. The first, as you can see, is there's noticeable seams, and that's because
we gotta learn how to fix it.
That you get online were not designed for 3D. They're usually
Are we gonna learn how to fix it?
Website, sort of throwing into the back of a Photoshop file or something, right? And what we've done is we've tiled it. And it doesn't perfectly aligned. You can take it into Photoshop, you can do an offset, and then you can use the clone brush. It's what our artists spend on at Polygon. And it's time consuming. It looks like it was printed on cardboard. It doesn't look like real brick, base color, and it's just using a flat, continuous roughness value. You could plug that into the roughness input and go, oh, well, I've got some information there. It's the wrong information. You could also plug it into a bump map, right? And it'll just like basically do a grayscale operation to try to guess what that information should be for the bump. And it's definitely better than nothing, but it's not.
That's
the best.
crispy.
You can see it's assuming because the mortar is lighter than the brick, that is sticking way further out than the brick, when it's probably the opposite is true, right? So that's why most artists realize very quickly you don't usually use a texture that you get from Google.
Okay, what do you use then? Are you gonna answer that question? You seem to not answer any previous questions.
What you need are seamless PBR textures. PBR textures are simply textures.
PBR textures. Ah, that's what you mean by that. What does PBR mean? PBR stands for something. PBR meaning 3D. Physically based rendering. Huh. I don't think this is it. But it says everything is physically based rendering. And it's even included in OpenGL. So I have a feeling with that, it's called physically based rendering now. Okay. That's what I want to see. I don't know what that means.
That were designed for 3D usage. And rather than downloading one image, PBR textures are a set of images, usually like 5 to 10 images, that each do different things to the shader. And there are a number of places that you can get PBR textures from, but I'm going to be biased and recommend Polygon.
I'm going to be biased and recommend Polygon. It's like the 4th result down. Ambient CG seems to be the top result.
And I'm biased because it's my own website. So over the last 9 years, my team and I have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in perfecting the art of texture capture. So we've created a set of hardware and pipeline solutions to accurately capture real surfaces in the real world, which means we don't take a single photograph of pretty much anything. We use specialized rigs with like a polarized ring flash so it doesn't have reflections, and we take hundreds of photographs of every surface. Then we use photogrammetry software to rebuild the surface so you get all the accurate height information that's really there in the real world. We bake that out into PBR maps, then we clean them up, we standardize the values, and it is the only way to accurately capture surfaces. It is expensive, it is time consuming, and it is a very specialized skill that most artists should not waste their time doing. Honestly speaking, from somebody who's tried it, it's not really that useful for anything else besides building a texture library. As you can probably pack real serious,
Just skip everything.
Is just use up a PBR.
There we go. Skip like 2 minutes of that. Easy. Sure, whatever. Oh. Pricing, huh? Oh. Limited. Can't access. Okay. I won't care about that then. Here, let me just get brick. Yeah, I misspelled brick, so of course it's not gonna find it. I misspelled brick again. How hard is it to spell brick? This is very clean brick. Oh wow, this is very clean brick. Now let's go ahead and download that. Extract here. Oh, we just have it in a blend file as well. That's interesting. I've never seen it put in a blend file. A Trez? A Trez, really? A scene file. You have it in a scene file as well? Weird. I'm assuming you just put all these within this itself. So let me get this straight. Image. It's getting terrible. Give me a texture. Texture. Image. Open this. You will be the color. Yeah, brick. Now we take the color of this and we add, I guess, another image. I don't care about ambient. What is the difference between these two normals? I guess normal GL is the OpenGL version of normals. Probably plug that into a bump map. Height, add that normal to normal. Clearly, no, wait, hold on, distance. Clearly I did something wrong. Yeah, clearly I'm doing something wrong. Wait, hold on. No, I'm doing something wrong. Do you not use the normal map for this? Or do you use it for roughness? Maybe you use it for roughness. Let's just... I don't know what I'm doing. Texture image. I think let's open up the black and white one. Oh, roughness. Here's the one that you probably put in here. Yeah, that looks like brick now with its roughness. Displacement? Would it be under displacement then? So if I add an image texture and place it... Why did you do that? And you... I don't stop trying to add it. And you place it under displacement. Bump. Under height. Take this and plug it into normal. What happens? I still don't think that's correct. That also still doesn't look correct. It still doesn't look correct. Oh, wait, hold on. I think maybe it is correct. Let's take the camera and just go this. It looks correct. Maybe. Looks like it's inverted. That looks a little better. Yeah, that looks a little better. Alright, let's see if I did everything correctly.
Material does it. One that we're going to be importing is the base. Okay, be self-explanatory. Mapping is not potentially. And we're going to, on the mesh, hit U and then click heading. UV image editor, and you this minus I publish the exact sizes of our textures, and you can see the physical size to plane that presents 2 meters. So if I want to get this like really bang on accurate, what I would do is I would set it so that it's, you know, the size of a scale at 5. Try to just the real texture in the real world, and just view. So I'm going to show it up _roughness map, and it should appear. All right. And by the way, something you'll probably notice 2 seconds on it. So map, can you and excuse me. Now you can see as we look at our mesh that there is some slight differences in the reflection, right? It looks a little bit more shiny here and less shiny there. But actually this is not correct.
Oh.
So the color space of your texture it's doing an every non-color space. Okay, actually correct. I know it looks worse. It looks like all that detail is gone. But it's not about what looks better or what you can see. It's what's actually correct. And this is actually what's correct, because this brick here is actually quite a porous brick. And
non-color. Oh. Why was I set this to non-color? That fix all my woes? I think it actually did. That looks pretty good. That legitimately looks pretty good. That looks exactly how a model should look like. That is Steve from Minecraft, brick block, 4K, ultra high definition textures right there. I think that's what it is. Is there any more you can do to improve this? Like, what is the point of the other maps?
have to guess what it is based on this here. Let's do another texture. On that new black and white, mostly white, but with very, very small amounts of like shadow, which is designs that fit in some of that detail. And you actually don't always need it, because if you're using physical displacements, it might not be needed, because there will be, you know, real shadows and whatever in the cavities of your mesh. But we're going to add it, and I'll show you how to do it. So I'm just going to drag this out a little bit so that we've got more room. And also, yeah, it needs to be up here. What it is, mostly white, but with so combine it to add into the color. So in this tutorial, so what I can do with this is now I can combine any two color. Now combine all is the dark values. So if we look at our mix shader node here, you've got a number of all of them. The one that we're looking for is multiply. So multiply means so one almost always. The other thing that we need to account for is, again, the color space should not be sRGB. It should be non-color data, because there's not a gamma correction.
Okay. Okay. So take this. I'm gonna drag this down here. That's the roughness. Image texture. Open this up. Ambient occlusion, that's what we need. Mix node. Mixing by multiplying. Oh, wow. I think that looks a lot better. It has more depth to it. Holy crap, look at that. It has depth to it, look at it. That's all of the shadows that are supposed to go on it, and it has depth. Whoa.
There's nothing on it. It's just
that's so cool.
Information that to help you. All right, now get the command and put this into the metallic input. Now, other times it makes sense. Underscore metallic map. Put this.
I don't have a metallic map.
There's no metal on our mesh at all, obviously, or color space to non-color data. But information that's valuing brick, it looks much the same, but it is physically accurate. The next two maps are the ones that really matter, and that is your bump detail. Purple looking image here is your underscore normal map.
Okay, so I was doing it wrong. It's not your displacement map, it's something else. Image. We need to apply this to the heights. Open this. It's normal GL. You think the color space is wrong? What the heck? Weird. We multiply channel pick to none. This doesn't seem right.
Let's hit open.
This really doesn't seem right.
Make sure your color space, because it is PBR map, it needs to...
It is non-color. But it looks terrible. It looks goddamn awful. It looks worse than the displacement map.
be set to non-color data because it's not the base color. Okay. Shader, is your normal input over here. Okay, when we've done that, it looks terrible. And that is because Blender needs another node in between there to there, because you can see the color of this output here. That's kind of a clue in Blender if you've connected something incorrectly, is when the color doesn't match where it's going in. Okay, so yellow to purple, not good. So what we need to add in is a vector normal map node. Make sure it's not normal, but normal map.
What?
Okay, so click.
It's a normal map node? Oh! DirectX, OpenGL. There's your two. Huh. That looks better, at least. Still looks pretty flat, though. That's terrible. Let's not reflect in object space, or world space, or blended objects. It's just tangent space. It still looks awful. I hate how it looks.
Click and drop that in. And now you can see
I hate how this looks so much.
And it looks way more interesting than it did before. Strength of 0, you can see how it looks, and a strength of, well, should be strength of 1, right? So that is your bump detail. Very interesting. All right, now the next map is...
I guess there's just not a lot of strength when it comes to OpenGL. So one is going to look more flat.
There's also
Oh well.
some bump detail. So I'm going to hit Shift D, duplicate that down, and then I'm going to add in finally, whoops, which one is it? Underscore displacement. Make sure it's the correct one.
Oh, there is your displacement. Let's open this. Where does this go? The vector?
Because they look similar, roughness, ambient occlusion, to be set to, you guessed it, to actually go not in our shades. The only one that actually exists outside the shader. It goes directly into the displacement.
The fuck? Why? It's non-color. Oh. Ooh. It looks backwards. It legitimately, in some cases, it looks like the bricks are inset. But in other cases, it looks like the bricks are not inset. Whatever the case may be, how do I increase the multiplier? Is there a multiplier shader node? That's not it. I can't take a whole color value and multiply it. I have to be able to multiply it. Multiply. Takes in 2 colors though. It's the only issue. You're multiplying the colors together.
Input of our material output. So I'm gonna, it's yellow to purple, which means there needs to be another node in between it. So it's vector display.
Vector displacement. Did I do something wrong? I think I did something wrong. Oh, there we go. Damn. That looks good.
Placement. That is the node that drops in here. And make sure this goes into your height input.
Oh, I think I selected the wrong one. Yep.
Okay, and then this scale slider here will define the strength of this displacement, basically. Okay, now here is something that I have just learned recently, and it's something that I think almost every single artist is getting wrong, because even the node wrangler that comes with blank placement map should not be used together. You should be using one or the other. Okay, and the reason for that is that assuming they are authored correctly and they are the same, then it is doubling the information, because the normal map, if we have a look at that, it is bump information. And if we look at our displacement map, we actually can't look at it through that point, but it is the exact same information, but it's just represented in a grayscale form. So if you use them both together, you are just doubling the intensity of the bump, when it's usually not authored in that way. It's not designed to be used in that way. The other reason to not use it like this is because displacement can be used to physically displace a mesh, which is what we're actually going to do in a second. And when you do that, it actually, a normal...
Like in the displacement part? I thought within the shader itself there's a displacement. There's diffuse.
Map on top of that kind of breaks it, and I noticed this issue, and so I emailed Brecht, who is the lead developer of Cycles, and I said, look, I think I found maybe a bug or something with this, and he said, like, no, when you have physical displacement, which we're going to set up in a second, you shouldn't be using a normal on top of it, because it's just going to wreck it. And I was like, what? That's crazy. Like, the Node Wrangler does this, Megascans Importer does this. Is everybody doing it wrong? And he said, well, we could add an extra option. So apparently they're going to add in some support so that you could potentially use both a normal map and a displacement, but you still shouldn't, because if they're the same information, there's no point in using both of them together. So what that means is we have imported the normal map here because I wanted to show you what it is for, but in most cases, I actually no longer recommend using it, because as I said, they're the same information, and the displacement map is actually a much more versatile map of the two, because you can do true displacement. All right, so this, as you can see, looking at it, right, we've got some bump, right? Okay, but you'll see that if you look at it flat on, like, hey, our wall is paper thin there, okay, by this code. And by the way, I have reported displacement method, but it is displacing it, so I have to assume that is a bug. It only appears when you're in EV mode anyway, but anyways, ignore that if you're seemingly doing anything, is because what this is looking for is to physically, is getting altered ever so slightly, map here. And because of that, it's basically like it's working with, how many pixels is that? 1, 2, tiny pieces to move. So we need to add a lot more detail, basically. So you'll add modify vision surface. And you'll see, by the way, when you do this, you get these rounded corners, which are very ugly. So change it to simple, up to 6. It will be better, but it still won't be visible. So let's crank it to 8, and then you will finally start to see something. And this, by the way, is just a new feature of EV. It's the first, because of EV Next, it's the new version of EV. It's actually got true displacement for the first ever release. So pretty excited that we can do this now. It used to just be a cycles only feature. Anyways, so with this, look, have a look, right?
Whoa.
Physically displacing our mesh, right? So each of those bricks, because that height information was recorded and it was done correctly with photogrammetry software, not using some cheap process like Substance Sampler to just guess it. These are the real brick heights that are being basically used on our mesh here, and is not displacing the mesh at all. Okay, so should you use then displacement or displacement and displacement bump? You should be using both. Okay, and the reason for this, it's odd applying it without getting where there is, unless that's it. So we're going to swap to cycles, cycle for it. So not take it so you get follow the don't, right, because we started with a plane, right? So it's just treating this like it is a flat shade. And if you follow the donut tutorial, you know there's such a thing as smooth and hard, smooth and flat shading. So what we need to do is swap it to smooth shading because it's now creating all this extra geometry. We need to add it. So let's add that, and you'll see it looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, and a lot nicer. And now, and you'll see it looks a lot better, a lot creating all this extra. So what we need to do is swap it to smooth shading because it's now creating all this extra geometry. We need to add it. So let's add that, and you'll see it looks a lot better. It looks expensive, and it's also part of the reason that they are used in games is that in normal displacement map, because it is grayscale data, it's not shows the difference between them, but
Normal map versus bump map. Huh.
A 16-bit TIFF is needed because it's using can see actually which to see it's visible these little is and oddly enough it kind of looks more obvious in cubic mode inside of EV. I don't know, but it is the correct set. It's supposed to be cubic. Anyways, jumping around here, but I just want to explain it. So when you're using a displacement, set it to cubic, and it's great. And that's it. So you should have, for your shader, displacement and bump, a scale of 0.2. This should be non-color data. This should be going into your displacement input, and I will put it up on the screen here.
Okay.
This is a PBR shader that is correctly set up, and you will see we are not using the normal map. It is there. It's always downloaded with files because some people might want it for real time. And also, if you were never going to use this displacement, you weren't even going to be combining it with other textures, which is the other
Texture? More like texture. Yeah. I have no idea what you were going for with that.
reason for using displacement. It makes it very easy to combine stuff, is what we're going to use later on. Then a normal map could be useful. We're not going to be using it for the rest of this tutorial. We're just going to be using base color, ambient occlusion, roughness, and displacement. Okay, so you don't just to create one material. That's just a waste of everyone's time. So I want to show you that although it's not required for this tutorial, you can just watch this next part. Most artists, when they're building a scene, they aren't manually building it. They watch this next. I'll keep this up here, and we'll call this
What is going on?
brick. All right, and then I'm gonna.
It's for the love of the game. Correct. The love of the video game.
Put this little shield icon to create a fake user, which, by the way, is how you save something. So that if you then delete this material, right, and then add
your ass.
Oh. Oh, okay. Can you kick it a little harder? Oh, whoa. My scaling is off. There we go. Fix my scaling.
new one, it's still there, right? It's not going to disappear because it's got a little F, which means fake user. They should have.
I wonder if it's an art category on YouTube. Can I use the art category instead? I don't want it to be science and technology. I want it to be art. Arts category. YouTube. Entertainment. Okay. I swapped my category to entertainment. I have no idea. Oh, visual arts category. But that doesn't exist. They're lying to me. There is no visual arts category. That is a solid lie. There is no visual arts category. YouTube, you're lying to me. Stupid.
There's one criticism that a lot of people have of Blender. That's not very clear. It's a very annoying thing. You save a file and it's disappeared. But anyways, so I'll show you this way. Okay, so edit, preferences, go to your add-ons and enable the node.
Node Wrangler? Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Add-on maybe? Node Wrangler, is it an add-on? It's an add-on, okay. Okay, Node Wrangler set. Oh, let's just remove this normal map thing. Oh, it literally is the same data. Oh, that's wild. I just removed it and it's still the same. Okay. Let's just adjust these. There we go. Now let's continue with the tutorial.
Wrangler, okay? It's underneath add-ons, Node Wrangler. It should come with Blender. To have tabs, you have to have the shader selected and you'll see add principled setup. Then you just select the files that you want to add and then hit principled texture setup. And then you just have to wait like, 2 seconds and then it will have done most of the dirty work for you. Now, as I mentioned, it has got something wrong, which is that it's using the displacement map and the normal map together. And as I mentioned, you should only be using one or the other. But that's pretty simple. Just holding down Control and then right-click dragging across will disconnect.
Ooh. Where is the Node Wrangler button? Node Wrangler. Let's do in here. Roughness, normal, displacement, color, ambient. I think that's everything. Okay, I need to clear everything first. One, two, three, four, five. There we go. And then afterwards to remove this. Adjust the intensities. This one's going to be 1. This one over here. Oh, this should be non-color. Cool. Here, mapping. Yeah, that looks exactly like it. Except for one thing. The ambient occlusion. It did not combine properly. So, in order to combine the ambient occlusion, I think it's apply color. There we go. Ambient occlusion. Yeah. It looks weird, but that's because I got lazy. I don't want to fix that. Oh. Oh yeah. Base color to A, ambient occlusion to B. So that way it multiplies the ambient occlusion with the base color itself.
That's set up for you. Okay, so now it's using that. You will have to then change it to automatically to polygon wrong. The setup that we just created, it's added in some maps that we don't need. We don't need the metallic map. It also hasn't done the ambient occlusion for us. One, you have to go to zip add-on, which obviously only works for polygon assets. But one click in the link in the description. There you might see it'll apply to review dear of the one that we just created, the one called brick. Bring this up, and here we are again. Okay, we are 45 minutes into this video, and we haven't even got to the fun stuff yet. We've really just talked about shaders, we've talked about PBR textures, and some of you watching this were like, when are we gonna actually make this thing look cool? That is right now. Okay, so we can finally now talk about manipulation. Manipulating a texture to work for us, to work for our scene, because they feel real. Like, so where you've got, you know, a wall and another wall meeting, you've got like black mold that builds up there, like how it does in real world. But it's also solving another problem for us, right? Breaking up repetition, because even though this is a seamless texture, there is a limit to how many times you can tile something before your eye will be able to spot repeating elements, right? You can see 3 rows.
You know what's very funny about that? I did that exact same thing within Payday 3. I got bored and I was looking for the repeating element, and then afterwards found it within like a matter of seconds. It's great.
Of these bricks that are different, and therefore your eye is spotting it. So there's always a limit to, a seamless texture, and you can spot that pretty quickly, right? So tweaking a texture does that, but it's also just super fun. This is what being an artist is about, is being able to control it and be creative and, like, you know, really have fun. So this is the bit that I enjoy the most, and you probably will as well. All right, so let's talk about the basics, basic manipulation of a texture. And the simplest thing that a lot of people want to do is they want to alter the color of a texture, right? Like maybe you're working with like wood, and like it's a great grain of wood, super color into an image editor like Photoshop, and then do some operations there. But that would be silly, because that would be destructive. You'd have to be saving files and then, you know, transporting it back and forth, because you can do that inside a Blender, and it would be non-destructive, so you can tweak it later on. Node setup, this node tree that we've got here, you place in extra nodes to manipulate things between there and our shader. So let's make some space. So I'm going to just here, but yeah, the ambient occlusion is just, okay, this Shift A, and you're looking underneath color, the hue, saturation. So you can see by default, the values 0.5, 1, 1, and 1, they have no effect. And we can see that by disabling our node, which you can do with a node selected. If you hit M for mute, it will mute the node. And you can see as I flip back and forth, there is no change, okay? So saturation of 1 is just as it is. So if I increase this, I'm obviously making it more saturated. If I go the other way, it's, hey, more desaturated, right? The value is just like, almost like brightness, right? Like how kind of luminant pixels are, right? I think you can actually go above the value there of 2. If you just like click it and then type in another value, you can go even brighter if you really want to break things. It's hue, and you can quickly make this look very funky. Normally what you want to do is to increase the shift, subtler values, holding down shift. And as you can get just a little bit of a yellow tint to it, just by moving it to like a, you know, 0.04 values that way. And then if I went the other way, obviously, it starts to look a little bit more like a richer red color, almost getting into like a pinky purple. So this is something I do a lot. So if I go like this, and then I desaturate it a little bit, and then I bring down the, so the value of 1 is where we started, right? If I go like that, that has completely changed the appearance of the brick with just some very slight changes. So if I hit M, that's going to mute it. So this is how it looked originally, and then this is how it looks with some saturation. Maybe that doesn't look like a lot to you, but to me that's a fairly big maybe I didn't want this color shift, this color change to happen to the entire brick that I've got going on here. And actually, let's just make it a little bit brighter. So let's say instead of it being like a darker change, it's now just make it a little bit brighter. So we do this, and the place that you would want to put that in is down here where it says FAC. It's not clear. I don't know why they went with FAC. I guess it's short for factor, but it's not obvious that that's what that does. But it's a numerical value for now. All of this, right? There's no different. Let's say I like input. I can put anything into that. Any black and white. As you remember from the start, we created a noise texture, and that was black and white. Texture and go noise texture. The most versatile of all procedural textures. Actor, the original text. This is because we are now working with a surface which is not 1 by 1 by 1. And it's, without getting too technical on coordinates, by default, it's using a generated coordinate system, which is just looking for objects that are 1 by 1 by 1. And if they're not, you have to do an operation in there to like make it so that it's that. But in our case, we've actually got UV coordinates that make sense for this. So we can actually just use that. So this vector, if I drag out from here, and then I just click on texture coordinate, which is one UV, using black and white patches across it. All right, so I've changed the scale of it. So now if I look at it, I should see, hopefully, some little patches. The reason I can't, though, is that this is... your eye is able to spot these value differences, the zeros here to the ones, but it's mostly, if you could see the values on it, I wish there was a way to actually see like the numerical values of areas, but it's all areas of gray. There might not actually be one section in here which is pure 1 or pure 0, like pure white or pure black. It's all just shades of it across it, and it's very subtle. So what you often want to do is to increase the contrast, and one node that a lot of artists love for this purpose is Shift A, Converter, Color Ramp. Okay, so let's just, okay.
Oh,
so
I get you.
And yeah, like where does the true black values start in our texture there? So we're the differences, and actually let's just increase it so you can see it, right? So it's now a lot more obvious where those values in. So it's really just a matter of like now these handles become like the feather of my mask as I drag out, right? And you sort of maybe want it to be like, I don't know, maybe let's go here. I never knew
there is so much to do within shaders. I had no idea. There's still a lot more to do. Wow. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. I need to go. Even though I slept for like 7 hours, I don't know, it was like a rough sleep. I need to like get some coffee or something. I'll be right back. Right, the caffeine's being made. I'll eventually get my caffeine fixed later when everything's actually done. But for now, we need to do the other part of this video because I'm still wondering how else to do everything. So shall we?
And then for my noise texture, because by default this is very... See, I don't really know what the roughness does. I should probably look that up. Yeah, okay, that's not helpful. Blend between smoother noise pattern and rougher with sharper peaks. Yeah, I mean, it just feels sharper a little bit. That's kind of it. I mean, it doesn't really, you don't have to understand it, but that's the explanation we've got. But yeah, it, you know, just makes it look a little bit sharper. But yeah, you can play with that and you can get some more interesting patterns there. One thing I'd caution, by the way, is a lot of people just go like really ham on this detail amount here, right? Because it feels like, oh yeah, like more detail is better. But something I learned from a course that actually the Blender Institute put out is that this drastically increases shader computation time. Like a value of, I think it's on like logarithmic. So a value of 3, I think is like twice as computationally expensive, and a value of 4 is twice more than 3 was. So basically if you're using like 6, it's something like, what is that? From what 2 was, it's like twice 4. It's like 16 times as computationally expensive as what 2 is. I could be wrong on that. But anyways, the point is I wouldn't go over like 5 or 6 in your detail because you can very quickly blow out your shader computation time when you hit render. Anyways, just want to caution that because I have seen a lot of artists just go like, yeah, more detail, not realizing, as I didn't, that is drastically increasing stuff. Anyways, all right, so that's, you know, that's okay. It's all right.
That's fine.
It looks... I mean, I would almost call this just like breaking up repetition. But yeah, it's an okay effect. So what I will do, and this is something that I would definitely suggest to people, because a lot in black mold, and then they do more, and then they do more, and then they zoom out and they go, oh my gosh, I can't understand this. There's so much going on. So you have to label what you're building as you build it, okay? So if I select these 4 here, if I hit Shift P, which you can do if you've got the Node Wrangler add-on installed.
Ooh, this is grouping, right? How do I name it? Oh, F2. Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Right? Make sure you just enable that and you will see it. You hit Shift P and then everything selected gets a frame. You can also just go group and then go, layout, and then say frame, and then put your nodes inside that frame. Anyways, I'm gonna hit N to bring up the properties on this frame. First, add it. You can see that's kind of like efflorescence is what they call it. Kind of like where like the minerals from water, the water brick. I can do like just a simple value adjustment and make the brick look darker. I want to actually make like feel like elements on top of it that are just like here. And add blend in color node. It's used contrast. So it has 2. Let's use more and. Yeah, like let's say some black mold that's kind of building up on our brick there. So I'm going to go with a solid black texture. But, you know, you could put green in there, make it look like sludge or slime or whatever that's kind of built up. But I'm just going, right, and brick. Okay. That's literally it. This color now becomes whatever color you want your brick to be, because we've just overridden what we have as the base color and then just use the base. So this is going to be black, and then this is going to be wherever we want this black mold. Color ramp, if we were really lazy, just put in the exact same spot as where we've got this, right? And that would give us this kind of look, but, you know, a wall, right? There's an option.
I'm assuming you want to place a texture map.
First type is full image texture. So now you putting that brush stroke on like all of these coordinates at the same time because it's tiled, right? And instead of fill it. Number 2, it's only using half of our image here. And this is the big issue with this, is that you often got something that is long, like a long road, a long wall, or a model that's like got UVs in different places, and it has to abide by UV coordinates. And as I mentioned, this isn't a UV unwrapping tutorial, but you can see that it's using half of our space here. The other big issue is that if I did all my painting exactly how I wanted it, and then let's say I'm working with a client and the client says, hey, move that door that is modeled here and move it to the left or the right, or maybe extend the building, right? Well, now this UV map doesn't work anymore, and I have to repaint it. I have to delete everything, UV unwrap it, and then repaint it. And that is very annoying and fiddly. And we're only using half the space, and it's a waste. It's not the most ideal, you know?
Get to it then. How do you do it?
And I'm going to delete my image. Hold that down, and you should see vertex dev mode. It's not referenced in here yet. So let's just go to the, anyways, really ace corner thing. It just I don't know, defaults as that. So I'm going to delete that and instead create a new vertex. And let's just give it a name. We're going to create paint not working as you would hope. And the reason for this is that vertex paint uses your vertex using image tools. So we're going to vision enable before selecting everything. I'm going to right click and last out with time. You could see us being able to paint onto our, it's almost can if you want, but with your paint it, we create mode. What I'm going to do is Control, Shift, and left click on this. It's going to default to the color input, but we're going to look at just the factor input. By the way, if you see color and factor together, you'll notice they're like the same, but color will show you, like in a case of an image, like the RG and B together. And then factor is just going to be like a grayscale version. So we're just using grayscale, so that's what we're looking at. Okay, so that's it. So then basically, if I want to reference that on my mask, I'm just like before with my image, I'm dragging it into the factor input. And look at that. So now in vertex paint mode, I can just paint like this. And it's really cool. I've also got like a smear brush, right? If I wanted to create like a leaking kind of pattern, I could kind of create some, I don't know why, it does like a pretty severe, like it almost adds opacity to it when you smear down with like too strong of a strength. It's very, very weird. But anyways, like a low strength, you could make like some pretty simple like smudges, you know, that's kind of
pretty cool.
And that's pretty good. But you'll note looking at this that it's still low res, right? It's kind of,
what do you mean? That looks great,
right? And that's because, you know, it's really just referencing the brush, right? Which has, you know, a standard fall off. You could, I mean, when I first tried to, like, when I was getting used to texture painting, I'm like, it's all about the fall off. I got to make an interesting stroke and an interesting texture I got to put in my brush. But remember, we're limited to the resolution that we've got of our mesh there. We don't want to go too high, too crazy. But you think that's probably what you need to do. If you want to create like interesting, you know, like a black mold that appears in like the crevices, like in our reference photo, that keeps disappearing. This guy, and here we go. I'll put a little thing on it and I'll pin it so it doesn't disappear. Brick, you don't. You just need to understand shaders and math, really. Well, I'm fooling around and I stumble on it. So, okay, to add detail to other masks, so doing the black effect, but then between here, no, text down there. That builds up need to do. But the actual geometry of our brick using the displacement map. Okay, so this guy here, right? Just to have a look at that for a brief second, it's mostly middle gray value. All right. The first thing I want to do, actually, you know, let's just talk about this. So, the first thing I want to do, actually, you know, let's just talk about this. So with a mix blending mode, that's
I'm
not
falling asleep.
You could do like some of the bricks starting to show in our mask there. That's good. But the thing that I stumbled on accidentally was color burn. Okay, when you do this, look what happens. It's almost like it's doing that multiply thing, but it's doing something else with it. And it's quite, it's hard to understand. So I've actually got a demonstration here. Okay, so this is just to show you what color burn does. So I've got a painted mark here. So it's just sort of adding detail to that edge there. So even though this is like a pretty low res looking mesh, we've got added detail in this edge there. And what it's doing, according to the manual, is it's first inverting the noise texture. So it's taking a noise texture like that, it's inverting it, it's then dividing it by the top input, and then it helps you understand it. It didn't really help me. But frankly, you don't really need to know it. You don't really need to understand exactly how it's working. You just the more you play with it, that's how you're going to really get to come to grips with it. But anyways, the first thing we need to do is, because we've got some influence there, but it's not quite enough. And the reason for that is that this displacement value, it's mostly in the middle grays. And the reason for that is that which is 20 centimeters for all types of textures. And because brick is a very small amount of displacement, we're using mostly middle full range there. But what it means is that there's not really enough detail in there for it to get the full effect of the color burn. So what we need to do is add in a color ramp node to bring those values closer together. So looking at this, I'm going to bring this drag. Okay, and then now if we look at this, look at that effect now. And look, if I do some painting effects now, look what happens. Like we're using a pretty low resolution, right? That many pixels to paint into, but we've got all the detail from the brick coming through in our mask. Isn't that cool? And then looking at it through the eyes of our proper shader with the black effect there, you could see we're now able to paint onto the individual bricks. But in my case, I actually wanted to paint, although this reference photo does kind of look like this, I want to paint into the crevices and kind of invert it. So that's quite easy to do by just taking this color ramp here and just inverting it, dragging it to the left and then dragging this one out.
Nice.
And now, the grout of my brick there. And so this is how you get interesting textures in Blender. It's really, this tutorial is called texturing. As you can probably tell, it's mostly understanding shaders. Because you data to both stand side of your shader here, like this. But there you go. That's kind of the gist of it. And if the black value is a little bit too strong, what you need to do is label it. So just like before, I'm going to drag this out. I'm going to select the nodes which are relating to this effect. I'm going to hit Shift P. Now let me go to Sun Fade. We've done Get Black Mold. All right, now let me full screen this so that you can get a gander of where we're up to. We've created a sun fade. We've done a simple black mold operation. And now the final really common thing you need to learn is how to compile one image on top of another that has alpha. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some graffiti to our wall. So I've included a link in the description where you can download that simple black. So we need to add it to our node setup first of all. So we're going to hit Shift A, then go Texture, Image Texture, and we're just going to click Open. Here is our PNG. I'm going to hit Open. And now we need to find a way to add it. So essentially it's going into our base color, right? That's mix color. Pretty much whenever you're thinking like, I got to combine something, it's mix color.
Okay. I think I understand what they're trying to say now. It's just shaders. It's utilizing textures, putting them into your thing, and it's just shaders. I guess that would mean then that if you're talking about regular texturing, save. There we go. So if I want to have like regular texturing, I'd probably have to be forced to understand like arts stuff. And I kind of do. That's the thing. Now I can texture. I can texture. I think I can texture enough. Well enough. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. I think I did really well on learning how to texture. We achieved our 2 goals for today. We have learned how to texture, and we did a lot of bug fixing. Yeah. I think that would be everything I would want to do in this stream. So, I'm glad y'all are able to come along for it today. I really liked the fact that I did a good amount of learning today, and a good amount of bug fixing as well. Fix all those weird ass bugs that existed. Tomorrow, what should happen tomorrow is that if I'm either interested in programming or texturing tomorrow, like modeling and stuff, what I think I'll be doing is, depending on either one of them, either working on video games or working on my multi-poster. With the multi-poster, I need to figure out how to get a timeline and put that on my theme. Or add images to it. I'll figure out how to add images. I'm sure that's Selenium makes it really easy to add images. Because if it's super easy to add images in Selenium, then you know what that means. It means that I have my multi-poster has had multiple features that literally just have never been in any of the past projects before, and it's all been made easy because I just am not a bitch, and I just know what works and what doesn't. Yowzy. Oh, either adding images or just trying to do cookies and stuff, because I really don't want to keep signing in. That seems like a big time waster. We've been using Premium Air for almost 3 hours now. I'm downgrading you. You're going to regular Air now. You don't get Premium Air anymore. Your subscription to Premium Air has expired. Alright. Thank you all people for coming in. Truly enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with y'all. Including that one lurker who has not chatted. But my sleep schedule still isn't working, and it's still bloody hot outside, and the homeowner just does not care for the fucking AC. I'll be glad when I move out, because at least other people will have the same problems as me. And not someone who is just a fuck you got mine sort of mindset. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. I got 1 like on YouTube again. I didn't even do any advertisement that time. I just have a like now. Fucking fierce. See ya, doggo.